Alright, Engineering Drawing Standard Manual NASA, nomenclature 2-1 Drawing Title. General implementation selection development of the drawing title is as follows. Titles will be brief and the possible should contain sufficient information to categorize with part of the property to distinguish it from other similar parts. The drawing title should consist of the following: identifying the noun and noun phrase, the most significant modifier, modifying phrases, the most significant modifier and modifier phrases. The noun and the noun phrase establish the basic concept of the item. The modifier serves to narrow the area of the concept. The establish the basic name of the modifier separated from the noun phrase and by a comma in from and any preceding modifier by the comma. The type of the designation of any of the additional modifiers required for the further identifying with any item that is separate from the first part of the title be by a dash. When applicable, the word assembly shall be used in the last word of the noun phrase. The beam housing, beam hoisting guide, missile cover protective rocket motor, forward section, cabinet, electrical equipment, and CY-147, and transportation dolly assembly, air satellite examples. The noun and noun phrase is never abbreviated. The abbreviations are used in the modifiers only when the space is limited. When you use the abbreviation should conform with the abbreviation in paragraph 2.2 on page 12. When one of the drawings supersedes another, the new drawing, when practical, has the same title. The parentheses are not used to enclose any portion of the drawing. Title program names the abbreviation shall be added to the used on block and not to the title block. Exemption are final at the top of the assembly drawings. 2.2 Abbreviation. The purpose of the section is to provide the list of the authorized abbreviations for the use of the drawing, associated documentation when used in the abbreviation of acronyms, and in accordance with the goddamn Space Flight Center standard, the 256 WE Military Standard 12, in that order of the precedence. Uppercase Catholic letters shall be used. The abbreviation word combination of the MMC material maximum material condition shall be used in such and shall not be separated from the single abbreviations may be combined when necessary. The same abbreviation should be made with the use of all extensive and possessive case with the singular and plural forms. The given word abbreviation should be used with only to save the space for the time, but never at the expense of the clarity. Period should be used with abbreviations. They shall spell the entire word to provide the clarity of the avoid misinterpretation. Following abbreviations are acceptably used in the industrial related associations not found in the Goddard Space Flight Standard 256-4E1 or Military Standard 12. AFBMA, Anti-Friction Bearing Manufacturer Association, Incorporated, 1101 Connecticut Avenue, Northwest Suite, 700 Washington, D.C., 236. AGM, American Gear Manufacturer Association, Incorporated, 1500 King Street, Suite 201, Arlington, Virginia, 22314. ANSY, and American National Standard Institute, 1430 Broadway, New York, 118. ASME, Association, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, 345E, 47th Street, New York, 117. ASTM, American Society of Testing Materials, 1916 Ray Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. AWS, American Welding Society, Incorporated, 550 Northwest Luendo Street Road, the Public, P.O. Box 351040, Miami, Florida, 33135. The IEEE and Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, Incorporated, 445 Housing Lane, P.O. Box 1331, Piscataway, New Jersey, 0885531. ISO, International Organization of Standards Organization, International Normalization, 1 Rue de Vermel, 1211, Geneva, 20, Switzerland, Swiss. NEMA, National Electrical Manufacturers Association, 2101 L Street Northwest in Washington, D.C., 237. NASA's NSA, National Standard Association, Incorporated, 1200 Quincy Orchard Boulevard, Gaithersburg, Maryland, 20878. NAS, Aerospace Industry Association of America, Incorporated, 1251 Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., 2005. ASAE, Society of Automotive Engineers, Incorporated, 400 Commonwealth Drive, Warrendale, PA, 15096. 2.3 list of materials. Requirements for the 2.3.1 about requirements of the body with the drawing. Each part of the list with the list of materials part of the list must be identified with the list. Each one of the by an item defined with the number of the body with the drawing, and except for the single item is shown with the opposite item of the drawing. Note that the parts should be bracketed and indicated reference when they are and identified with the number and not noted with the list of materials. Since parts are shown with the phantom and shown in phantom, repeated item numbers shall be indicated with the reference either with the brackets or the word reference. 232. Requirements for list of material. The list of all parts of the call without of the drawing. See figure 3 of the page 10. The quantity of the parts noted with the list of material within the number required to complete the noted assembly. When the new drawing is made, all parts of the list of the material shall be grouped and as to the type and shall be dash numbered for shown the opposite assembly of the Gardner Space Flight Center for the detailed parts for the MS and NAS parts for the etc. listed in the sequence. Quantities of the bulk items placed and refer to the notes A through C, E, figure 3 on the page 10. Note, E. Preferred parts for the list of the parts materials process can be found in the unofficial publication available for reviewing the mechanical engineering branch design selection guide, which contains a wide range of the hardware materials design standards and reference. It shall be noted that not all the node items in the reference guide are rated for spaceflight use. Note all fastener used in flight hardware, the critical nuts and bolts are used with the ground support equipment are included with our flight with the Gardner, the GSE interface must meet the specification of the Gardner Space Flight Center fastener integrity requirement. The Gardner Space Flight Center S313 and 100 materials branch off the flight assurance. 2.4. Notes on the drawing. Information other than particular views, the dimension necessary for the completion of the drawing is unclassified with its notes. 2 types of the notes form, but the general notes location character of the note of the drawing to take the precedence over the specification requirements. Hence, the note conflicting with reference specifications should be not placed on the drawing unless they are necessary and deviations concerned with the provision of the specification. 2.4.1. Security classification. The security classification, the top secret, or the confidential, shall be located with the drawing as noted with the figure 1 on the page 4. Each sheet of the multiple sheet drawing shall be individually classified as to the content. Security stamp on each of the sheet shall be that the highest classification of any other item of the individual sheet has the general overall classification of the entire set of the drawings and end item. On the roll side of the drawing, the security classification shall be shown on the reverse side of the both ends of the drawing next to the drawing number to enable the classification seen without the unrolling of the drawing. The warning notes shall be included with adjacent with the security classification and located with the title block and shall read as follows. The material contains the information affecting the national defense of the United States within the meaning of the espionage laws of the Title of 18 U.S. Standard Code Section 793, 794, transmission or revelation of which any of the manner to any unauthorized person is prohibited by law. 2.4.2. Note of the location. Note to the general character that do not require the leaders indicated whether they apply there which the provision had not been made in the supplementary block of the drawing format shall be located in the following order of the preference adjacent with the upper left of the border or to the top of the to the left of all the views immediately left of this revision block adjacent to the lower left border below the revision block space being left for extended the revision block downward. The location should be avoided whenever practical because of the space required. Revisions cannot be anticipated. 2.4.3. Numbering of the notes. Generally, notes with the number consecutively downward. Note numbers may be identified with the fielding of the drawing. Placement of the note and the number of the pennant shape of the flag with the generally note with the location of the field of the drawing or list of the material specification column, whichever the location is more appropriate. 2.4.4. Note examples of the following note is a list of the representative examples should be used with the engineering drawing when applicable. The significant information is inserted when the blanks are indicated with the most case with notation parentheses or for information only when not applicable. Do not use the note before using a reference specification. Check with the Department of Defense Index Specification Standards publications to ensure the specification has not been canceled or superseded. Use either of the following statements or main headed with the notes except in the noted unless otherwise specified. 2.4.1. Dimension notes. All dimensions apply for after the surface stream and dimension limit to the surface of roughness designation apply to the state before and after plating for other coatings and substituting the appropriate expansion for the plating. Dimension to apply with the stress relief. The dimension of the tolerance to be interpreted in accordance with the ANSI Y14.FM 1982 note not to be added to only the drawings that are not in compliance with the GSFC X67364IF 1F. The gear the tolerance to be in accordance with the AGMA standard quality. Insert the number dimensions are to be in millimeters. Tools and control dimension per template with the tool number the GXXXXXX or whatever Actual tolerance of the featured location controlled by the template. The note of the flag and tooling effective with the dimension tolerance, whichever is included with the parentheses indicate the reference template. Drawing shall carry on the note of the stating of the drawing number of the part of the are used to fabricate. Torque limits of the threaded fasteners shall be in accordance with the project of the proof, the specification number, or engineering analysis. 2442 heating treating notes. Note that the beryllium copper heat the training in accordance with the military hand 7199H blank Brunel blank. A note for the steel heat the treatment in accordance with the military MLH 6875 to blank XX. XXX equals Rockwell, Brunel, workers. Note that aluminum heat treating in accordance with the military H608 to blank Brunel and blank heat treating blank condition after the insertion of brazing or welding in accordance with the military H6088 after welding solution heating treatment artificially aids to T6 condition per 6 ml H6088. Alright, 2443 joining method notes, welding and brazing. Such of the following specification supersedes the MIL W8604 aluminum and MIL W68611A, the steel crest and high HT res alloy, and MIL W818326 for magnesium. The fusion welding in accordance with the military standard 2219, the processing blank, the class blank, and the use of filler metal blank and the appropriate flux. Joint dimension and design should be specified with the drawing. Electronic beam welding in accordance with the military MIL W46132, sold in accordance with the NHB 5300.4 parentheses 3A1, using solder material QQ S571 type the blank, solder in accordance with the Department of Defense Standard 1866 general soldering process for all types of materials non-electrical and application. Note for the aluminum dip braze in accordance with the military standard 645, the heat treatment and blank of the condition per the CML 6H6088 silver solder in accordance with the military B7883 type of the grading and the using of the solid material QQB654 class, written in accordance with the military standard 403. Alright, 2444, plating and coating notes. The plating of the notes are generally not for the specialized hardware using the restricted such as optics and electronics, electrical due to flanking candomium plated in accordance with the QQP416 type in class, hydrochromate plate size and size thick per thick per QQC320 type in class, dimensions shown applied with the plating, nickel plating in accordance with the military standard 171, finishing paragraph number and type, silver plate in accordance with the QQ7365 type in the grade, paint in accordance with the military standard 171 table blank, finishing numbered in color and blank in the accordance with the federal standard 595 color number. Notes for aluminum and anodized in accordance with the military A86225 type of the blank of the cast, blank of the color, name of the color only, erudite in accordance with the military C5541 class of the note, the CRES passivated per QQP35 type of the finish from blank of the military standard 175, the use in the paragraph that applies to the material being used. Note that iron steel applied with the protective phosphating coating with the accordance with the military C with the 12986 6.8, the typical type of the added class if it was applicable for titanium surface to the finish to be in accordance with the AMS 24888 type. The Alright, 2445, surface preparation note. Surface to be cleaned with the polish for the vacuum use. Do not use the rogue compounds, chemical during the buffing and the polishing of the items requiring tank type, the linking, testing, external surface to be buffed to, and performance of electro polishing may mask all surfaces marked. Vapor degreasing purpose ASTM D4126 general solvent grade 111 trichloroethanol. 246 testing and inspection note. This part shall have a leak rate of not more than 1 to the inside deviation 1 to the 10 to the negative 7 to the cubic section of a helium when measured with the calibrated mass of the spectrum meter having the sensitivity of 1 to the 10 to the 9th negative 9th exponent, the CC sec with the greater than 10% of the helium, a different result of 1 over the atmosphere of the equivalent test, the radiographic inspection of all the wells in accordance with the military standard 00453, ultrasonic inspection per military standard 2154, type and insertion number 1 or 2 class, 1 immersion method or 2 the contact method. For general fracture control plan with the payloads using space transportation system in front of the figure, the Goddard Space Flight Center 73100000583. One of the following notes should be used as the parts requiring the etching of the liquid of the penetration inspection fractional and critical part of the ETCH and the penetration inspection per the GSFC 313.009 code XXXX, usually used for machine parts. Fractional critical part do not etch the part of the penetration inspection per GSFC S313.009 code XXXX, usually used with roll plates. Alright, and errors the part of it being etched and inspected prior to the finish of the matching the separate drawing should be called out of the requirement to avoid the costly mistake. 2447 thread insertion and thread inserts cleaning the installation notes. Note the aluminum magnetic surface of cleaning threaded inserts within the trichloronated ethanol bake out of the at least 100 degrees Celsius for 3 to 4 hours prior to the installation applied with the dry film lubricant government design designation M603 type the 1 or 2 military per mil L 46010 quality QPL list of the type 1 cure temperature 150 degrees Celsius, type 2 cure temperature 240 degrees Celsius. Install the thread inserted with the per XXX the coil type and the keying type and the thin wall type. The install of the clinch nuts and per mil N45938 and 1 after the bonding of the epoxy is cured with the per note blank of all the items and blank of inserted. Thread insert shall be capable of withstanding the corresponding torque loaded with the list of the torque table without becoming the loose. All threads of the threaded fastener shall be free of the diverse adhesive the foreign material. The torque the threaded left side of the 632 UNC the torque incorporated pounds or XX. Tap all the holes prior to the coating. Install the thread inserts after the coating. 2448 miscellaneous notes. Place in a bag after the final electrical polishing bag shall be conformed with the MIL P116 method C spec. Alternated part is source information, part number of the vendor and address. Maintain the match set after machine. Note that non-flight parts only. Steel stamp etch with engraved C high. The charter is shown in the X times 0.0 or plus or negative 5 thousandths or 0.0 thousandths deep. The drawing is interpreted in accordance with the GSFC's X673641F. The rubber stamp side of the high character is shown using the inserting ink of the paint in accordance with the specification, including manufacturer as part within dress. Back part per mil P116 method in blank of the tag with the part number alterated surface to have. Refer to the paragraph 1041, page 93 for the symbol and notation. Finish all over the refer to the paragraph 1041, paragraph 93 for the symbol notation. Surface roughness as an XXX machine surface that is an XXX rolled, extruded, and drawn. And refer to the paragraph 1041 and the page 93 for the symbol notation. Inside corners are a maximum unit of the straightened and stressed relieved after the welding and brazed village is to be confined with the inside surface. The twine shall be conformed with these requirements of MIL T713 type of the class. Manufacturer certification material specification compliance must be supplied with the part blank insertion number. The magnetic specification permittability less than this blank specific numens and blank. Components must be a package of material in accordance with the applicable interstate commerce commission regulation Title 49 CFR 71378. Shipment shall be made directly by using the agency explosive and other applicable wording. Components, if they are hazardous, must be handled in accordance with the applicable safety and regulation Title 49 7178. Alright, 2449 informational notes. Informational notes shall be the following government rights to the manufacturer note shall appear adjacent to the right of the border title block with the drawing titled note XXX Company Chicago, Illinois, part of the number blank the corresponding to the item depicted with the drawing, which is furnished with the unrestricted using the connection with any of the U.S. government manufacturer procurement, such as the use of the authorized by the XXX Company letter number, the XXX sign, and dated with no other use for this authorized local character. Notes for the local character such as the drilling notes and the threaded notes, etc. of the required letters indicated with the features to which the supply shall be located with the field drawing and position adjacent with such features. Each of the note shall state the number of the features to which the applies unless the leader is drawing each of the feature. 246 general dimension and tolerance. Note the general tolerance enter the supplying portion of the title block that shall control all the dimensions applied by the drawing except for the specified label, maximum, minimum, reference data, and or specific basic of the dimension having tolerance applied with directly thereto. The dimension controlled with the notes. The documentation involved on the drawing. General tolerance may be changed with the relevant tolerance from the required of the drawing type that's done by the tracking tolerance insertion of the new tolerance of the method between the old. In the case of the metric tolerance required with the section 10.2 subgraph 1 general tolerance 2.5 specification callouts. Normally, only the basic documentation of the number of the specification shall be shown on the drawing, in which the case the latest issue with the effective at the time the innovation and or to the bid shall be imposed with all the procurement actions changed with the specification occurring with the subsequent to the time the innovation of the bid shall not be imposed in the current procurement actions unless the drawing is revised to show that the new issue of the basic documentation number of the revision amendment and or date of the current procurement actions amended with the specified with the new drawing revision engineering order. It is basic documentation revision of the amendment of the date of the specification shown on the drawing. Only the particular issue that shall be imposed on all the procurement actions changed with the specification occurring the subsequent of the title and time of the innovation should be the bid shall not be imposed with either the current or the future procurement actions unless the drawing is revised showing the new issue, the basic of the documentation number revision amendment, and the date of the current procurement of the actions remain or amended to specify the new drawing revision executive order. Regardless of whether the specification shown on the drawing, the basic documentation number, the order, particular issue superseding the specification, new number shall be not imposed with either the current or the future procurement of actions unless the drawing is revised and show the new basic documentation number, if applicable, if an issue the current or the procurement actions that amended to specify the new drawing revision and the or engineering order. Chapter 3 Drawing Practices.